Hello and welcome to another Dragonstorm Studios video. And today we're not going to be drawing a picture per se. I'm going to be showing you some images I've already drawn for creature tokens. Now, if those of you who don't know, in Magic the Gathering, very often a card will have you create another version of itself or another card which represents some aspect of the card's ability. And in this case, you've got here a cat token, which is from the Zendikar Rising set. And these are beautiful. They come with packs of magic cards. They are random, so sometimes you do get an advertising card instead. But I do love these because of the art, especially the more recent ones. Like this one here, you've got a bit more room on the card for the artwork itself, and they are absolutely beautiful. The problem, however, is that very often with these cards, you don't get the ones you necessarily need. In fact, some of these creature tokens are more rare than others. So one thing I've been in the habit of doing is making my own, especially if I don't have a token for it, or more likely I've got an older card and I just wasn't playing the game to get the tokens themselves. So here's a worm token, and you can see I've taken inspiration from the Beetlejuice movie, from the sandworms there, and just not having anything to do with the art on the original token, just doing my own version of it. You'll notice though that it's not in color. And although it does, I think anyways, look pretty good, color makes such a big difference, even if the drawing I've done maybe isn't the best. This is a cartoon version of the Hulk for a green giant token, and the color makes such a big difference. So I'm always a fan of adding color to the artwork itself. Now, this also can be applied to other games, any tabletop game really, which has things that represent information. And again, I'm going to use Magic the Gathering as my example, since that's what I play most often. There was a card that came out in Throne of Eldraine that was called Happily Ever After. And of course, if you know any of the content that I've created, if you know me at all, I like playing those cards that are a bit more ridiculous, a bit more, the word is often used, janky. And here you had to satisfy 3 conditions to win the game as an alternate win condition. And to make life easier for me as I was trying to get this to work, which I actually didn't get to work ever, I've got a little space for a die, and then I've got the 3 different conditions written down, and I can move the dies around to try and get 5 colors among permanents I control, 6 or more card types in either graveyard and or in my control, and life total equal or greater to my starting life total, which turned out to be a much more difficult prospect than I thought. When I was playing with a card called Thousand Year Storm from the Ravnica set, I had a storm deck essentially, so I made this wonderful storm counter card. And when Theros Beyond Death came out, Devotion, which was a previous mechanic, came back, so I made a little Devotion card here as well. And these are all just great little ways of adding to the game experience, maybe also making it easier to play. I've got a whole bunch of tokens I've made over the years that I've been playing the game. I'm just going to cycle through them very briefly for you, just to give you some inspiration perhaps for some of the things that are out there. If you don't know, Hasbro owns Wizards of the Coast, so when you have a Pegasus token, you can use perhaps a My Little Pony. And there's another one inspired by a picture I found. I try to adjust them and change them a little bit for my own purposes. Because of the pandemic, I haven't been playing as much paper Magic recently in the past year or so I don't get always the tokens I need. So here's a cat beast that I never was able to find for Zendikar Rising. Actually, it might have been Ikoria, come to think of it. And so I made my own cat beast, again, based on the actual token, but my own kind of variant of it. And I was so lucky in a Jumpstart pack to get Emiel the Blessed, who is a unicorn commander. And so I needed some unicorn tokens since they actually, as far as I know, don't exist. So I made a couple of my own. One was based on the movie, The Last Unicorn, and one is just a picture which I found online, which I adapted to my own purposes. But again, color makes such a big difference in these beautiful tokens. In some cases, like the creatures I have are very old. And so again, I wasn't playing at the time. So there's a creature, his name I think is, oh gosh, I'm drawing a blank now all of a sudden, of course. But he creates kobolds, and this is the kobold from Kher. And he, again, cartoony, but I love it. It's in color, it makes a big difference. Also, plant tokens. There was a land from a set a while back that created 0/1 plant tokens when you played the land. So here's one, but then a movie came out called Guardians of the Galaxy, and of course I had to remake that token as baby Groot there dancing away. Kraken, another token which I created for a more recent set. I think it was Ikoria again, for a card that was called Ominous Seas. So there's my 8/8 Kraken token. And I could not for the life of me find a shark token for Shark Typhoon. So I made my own weaponized shark, and he is looking quite terrifying there with his rocket launchers, his jetpack, because he flies, of course, and the hammerhead shark, of which I love so very much. So I hope you enjoyed that video and some of the tokens I've made for my decks. If you have any requests for tokens you want to see made, I'm very glad to do so. And I might make another video in the near future if I make more creature tokens, because I do love to make these just out of random bits of excess cardboard or file folders. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.